I'm going to fly the drone over now. I'm going to just take off.
No, you're not.
Absolutely.
You're not allowed. There's overhead lines, power lines. It's against the law. You do that, we'll phone the police and you'll be arrested.
Oh, don't phone police. Come on, that'd be silly, wouldn't it? I will be quick, I promise. I'll fly over and you'll just see it go across a few times and I won't be long, yeah? See my drone licence?
Yeah.
You don't need to...
Flying it over our facility, I need to see your licence.
You don't need to see my licence. Why would you need to see my licence?
Property, and we've got intellectual property on that facility.
I'm about to take it over now.
You're not taking it over.
I'm definitely...
Phone the police.
Don't phone police. Come on, that's silly, isn't it? Just for a bit of drone footage.
Yeah.
Come on, don't be silly. Come on. I've got two of them now.
Stop filming as well.
But, come on, don't be like that. Come on.
Been asked politely 3 times.
You at 999 in that, are you? Oh, are you kidding? Ring 101, that'll take ages, 101, wouldn't it? But so I'm going to take it off soon, but don't be like that, come on.
English MN do. ChatGPT said, misusing 999 for non-emergencies wastes crucial resources and can endanger real lives. When security staff call the police simply because someone is filming in a public space, it often reveals a lack of understanding of the law. Rather than handling the situation calmly, they escalate it, hoping a uniformed officer will deal with something that isn't actually a problem. This highlights a broader issue. Emergency responders and call handlers need better training on public photography rights. Lawful behavior is too often misinterpreted as a threat simply because it makes some people uncomfortable. In this instance, even the responding officer showed confusion about the law, underscoring the urgent need for clearer guidance and more informed responses.
Okay, do you want to tell me then what you've been doing?
I'm not going to tell you anything that I don't need to tell you.
Right, okay.
You've just come here and just accosted me for nothing.
Right.
We've got guys out there shouting through, he needs to delete that footage.
Yes.
I need to delete my footage.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
There are basically 3 rules with filming. Very similar to the use of CCTV. Yeah?
Here we go, come on. Come on, explain.
If you're filming yourself, you can do what you like.
Ooh, yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, you're filming me, you can do what you like, I don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah.
More than welcome to. Okay?
Yeah.
If you're filming a private space, so if you are filming, well, initially if you're filming a public space, you can do, but you need to be willing to show that footage to whoever asks. You also need to comply with the Data Protection Act, which means that you need to be willing to delete that footage should they ask you to.
Picture someone insisting, you have to delete that footage. It's required by the Data Protection Act. It might sound authoritative, but it's entirely untrue. The 2018 Act governs how organizations manage personal data, not private individuals filming in public. If you're recording for personal use in a public place, you have no legal duty to show, delete, or surrender your footage. No law compels you to hand over recordings simply because someone demands it or because they were captured in a public space.
Yes?
No, yeah, you've got that all wrong, honestly.
No, I haven't.
Of course you have.
No, I haven't, because
it was covered by data protection, right? Can I just explain that? I'll tell you that. I'll let you on. I'll let you know then. Yeah.
Go on then.
Data protection only applies to businesses. It doesn't apply to individuals. There you go. Look, that's your first mistake. Yeah.
It does apply to individuals. And if you're saying it only applies to businesses, that's a business, and they've asked you to delete it.
No, I'm not a business so I don't have to delete it.
Right, you do.
You're talking rubbish on camera.
Asked you to.
You're talking rubbish on camera.
Because otherwise, no, I'm not talking rubbish, because otherwise, what you're doing is surveillance. Have you got a RIPA? Have you applied for a RIPA? Do you know what a RIPA is?
A what, sorry?
A RIPA.
What's a RIPA?
A RIPA?
No.
A RIPA is the paperwork to allow you to do surveillance, which is what you're doing with that.
Many people mistakenly believe the Investigatory Powers Act 2000, commonly known as RIPA, applies to anyone filming in public. In truth, RIPA only regulates covert surveillance conducted by law enforcement, intelligence services, and certain authorized bodies. It's designed for serious matters like undercover operations and monitoring communications, not casual recording. If you're filming for personal use, journalism, or creating content for platforms like YouTube, RIPA doesn't apply. There's no legal requirement to obtain permission before recording in public. If there were, every tourist or content creator with a camera would be breaking the law. In the video, an officer misuses this law to intimidate someone, referencing legislation that simply has no relevance to private individuals.
I'm not doing surveillance, that's silly. I'm doing aerial photography.
Yeah, which is surveillance. Form of surveillance.
Can you identify yourself, please? Because you just walked up to me. And yourself, lady. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, what you are doing is surveillance. You've just said you're taking photographs. Yeah?
I haven't said that. I've not confirmed anything.
Right, that's a form of surveillance. You're telling me that you're filming, that you've filmed over there. That is a company. They've asked you to delete the footage of what you're filming there, of what you filmed there.
I won't be deleting.
Are you refusing to do so?
Well, obviously, there's
Why?
nobody. I'll tell you what. I'll let you know then. I'll let you know the law that. Yeah.
Right.
Only a court can make me delete that footage.
Right.
In the UK, you are under no legal obligation to delete footage simply because someone demands it. The only lawful way your recordings can be removed is through a court order or a valid search warrant. Even police officers cannot compel you to delete videos unless they lawfully seize the material under the Police and Criminal Evidence Act 1984, PACE, and only if they have reasonable grounds to suspect a crime. Forcing someone to delete footage outside these legal procedures could amount to tampering with evidence or an abuse of police authority.
Right.
There you go. You can't delete it, you can't ask me to.
Right.
Well, you can ask me to, but I don't have
There
to.
is a government ombudsman that deals with footage like that.
Lovely.
Okay?
Yeah.
They can take you to court, certainly,
God. Yeah.
and they will prosecute you, and they will fine you. And it is hundreds of thousands of pounds. Because it's the same rules and regulations that we use for surveillance.
All I would say is, good luck trying to get £100,000 out of me. I literally haven't got £100,000.
If you don't pay that, then it's potentially a prison sentence, then, isn't it?
Ooh, prison. God, I don't want to get in prison.
Worried that an ombudsman might take action against you for filming in public? That's entirely a myth. In the UK, the only authority that enforces data protection is the Information Commissioner's Office, and its regulations apply to businesses and organizations, not private individuals capturing everyday life. The Investigatory Powers Act, RIPA, covers covert surveillance by police and intelligence agencies, not someone openly recording with a phone. You don't need special permission to film in public, and no officer can legally force you to delete your footage without a court order. Claims of hefty fines or legal consequences for simply filming in public are nothing more than scare tactics, based either on misunderstanding or misuse of authority.
Well, I'm asking you nicely, will you delete the footage that you filmed over there?
You can ask, can't you?
I can ask.
I've not confirmed or denied whether I'm going to delete the footage.
Will you delete the footage? Please.
What would you do if I don't delete the footage? I'm going back over in a minute. The drone's going back up in a minute.
Okay, well, potentially we can get officers here to arrest you and take you away.
Arrest me for what? Go on, what? Listen,
Right,
what
for
law?
breach of data protection.
No, stop. You're under arrest for breach of data protection.
Right.
Yeah. You don't have to say anything when questioned. Yeah. Under arrest for data protection. Oh my God.
Let's set the record straight. Data protection laws apply to businesses and organizations that handle personal information, not to private individuals filming in public. Simply recording on the street isn't a crime, and you cannot be lawfully arrested for doing so. If a company misuses personal data, it may face fines or regulatory action, but not criminal charges. In the video, the officer admits he would have to call the regular police to make an arrest, showing he is a PCSO, not a full constable. Since PCSOs typically need authorization to arrest, his threats carry no real legal weight. It's more bluff than law.
Can I just say you're talking nonsense? You really are talking nonsense. When the actual police officer gets here, if I bother waiting for him, I might just get the footage now and drive off on my bike.
Right.
You know what I mean? I might just do that, but we'll see anyway. I'll tell you what, we'll wait for the officer to come and he will tell you you're talking absolute nonsense. You'll just walk off like and that'll be it. Get in the car and go. Are you going to go now so I can finish my drone footage?
No, I'm not.
You're not going to go?
No, I'm not. No. You seem to be enjoying filming me, so...
This is crazy. So, are you going to waste police time just by standing here?
Yeah, because you're intent on doing that, so...
I'm not intent on wasting police time. I'd like you to go so I can finish my drone footage.
Well, I've asked you to delete the footage, I've asked you to show me the footage, you refused both.
When the auditor politely asks if he intends to move on, the officer refuses, admitting he's staying merely to occupy police resources. He even claims he won't leave until the footage is deleted, despite having no legal authority to make such a demand. By this stage, it's evident he's not enforcing the law, but attempting to assert control. Rather than managing the situation professionally, he escalates a harmless encounter into an unnecessary standoff.
Yeah, because I don't really want to.
Right? And you've not even explained yourself as to why you don't want to.
I just don't feel like it.
Don't feel like it.
Yeah. What did you have for breakfast this morning? Why did you have it? You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. And as I say, you don't feel like it. You're being completely obstructive. I've been completely reasonable with you. I've spoken to you politely.
Can I just explain to you the situation, right, from a high level point of view, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So go on then.
I'm stood in a public place.
Yep.
This is a public place. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm filming from a public place. I'm flying my drone from a public place. I'm abiding by all the drone laws.
Right.
I'm abiding by all the filming laws.
Right.
You guys have come here telling me I'm committing an offence.
Yep.
And now you stood there and you won't leave.
Right.
And you've admitted that you're going to stand here wasting police time.
Right. Okay.
Crazy. We're in a really crazy situation here.
Okay. I've asked to see the footage. Why aren't you going to show me the footage?
I don't have to and I don't want to.
Right.
I've got more footage to get yet. You know what I mean? I've literally got, I'm running out of time to get all this droned over. I've got some other places I need to get to.
If you filmed somebody and somebody asks you to then delete it, you have to be willing to at least show them with it and explain why you're not going to delete it, and explain to someone in authority.
Under what law? That ends the conversation, doesn't it, really? Under what law? If you explain to me the laws that require me to do something, if you explain to me the law that requires me to do something, I will do it.
Forget the myths. There's no UK law that obliges a private citizen to hand over, explain, or delete their footage simply because someone demands it. Yet in this instance, an officer invents rules on the spot, relying on his badge rather than actual legal authority. He attempts to enforce compliance through pressure, demonstrating how misinformation can lead to overreach. This exposes a deeper problem. When officers make up rules, it erodes public trust and wastes police resources. Eventually, a fully qualified police constable arrives, called by the PCSO who had already drawn attention to himself with his shaky grasp of the law.
Flown over the factory?
I'd rather not say, but I plan to.
You plan to?
Yeah.
Right. Do you have permission to fly over there with it being private property?
What permission? This is what I've just been through with these guys. What permission do I need?
It's classed as private property there, so it's classed as trespass.
It's not classed as trespass. If it is classed as a trespass, if I were flying low causing a nuisance, that'd be a civil trespass.
It is a civil matter, you're right.
That would be a civil trespass. So I don't know why you guys would be getting involved. But if I fly it high, it's not classed as a trespass. If an helicopter flies over, you don't class it as a trespass, do you?
I don't think there's any sort of minimum horizontal distance anywhere with drones anymore. I think it's changed.
Exactly.
You probably know more than I do, to be honest.
Yeah, I reckon I probably do. So yeah.
Let's be clear. In the UK, no law obliges private citizens to hand over, explain, or delete their footage simply because someone demands it. Yet in this case, the officer makes up rules on the spot, leaning on authority rather than actual law. He attempts to coerce compliance through intimidation, showing how misinformation can lead to serious overreach. It's a striking example of how bending the rules undermines public trust and wastes police resources. As the situation escalates, a fully authorized constable arrives, called by the same PCSO who had already revealed his shaky understanding of the law.
That's why I'm still here, because let me just tell you this, right? I'm not stupid, right? If I were committing a crime, yeah, I would have been on my toes now on that little bike and nobody would have caught me, but I'm not committing a crime, that's why I'm still standing here. I just want to prove to everybody that I'm,
I don't think you have committed a crime.
Excellent.
You've been handcuffed.
Exactly.
However, I've got to try and work with you.
Yeah, you can
so
try and
in terms of when you're flying a drone in public, like you're doing now, you can film anywhere.
Yeah.
Nobody can stop you. You start to film what you want, which isn't an issue. However, once you cross over the border into sort of where factories are, it's classed as private property, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's no.
How would you feel if somebody encroached into your private home and started filming you?
Yeah, that's different. Yeah, that's residential. So if
Well, it is, but it's still private.
If you fly over somebody's residential house and you're like looking in the windows or something.
In the UK, only the Civil Aviation Authority, CAA, has the authority to regulate airspace. They determine where drones are prohibited, such as near airports, government buildings, or other clearly restricted areas. Outside these zones, Drone operators simply need to keep their device in sight and avoid flying too close to people. In this clip, the officer mistakenly assumes that the company below controls the airspace, even though it has no legal authority. Rather than consulting the actual rules, he jumps to the wrong conclusion and attempts to enforce power he doesn't possess. It's a clear example of officers acting on assumptions instead of verified law.
Like a business or something like that, just getting some aerial footage and whatnot. There's no.
You're supposed to seek authority from them first, really, to stay private property.
No, that's an opinion. That's not a fact.
It's not.
Yeah,
It's a fact. It's private property.
No, because I tell you what. Then
It is a civil matter and it is trespass.
I'll tell you what. As soon as you've been so nice to me when you come over, kept your distance or whatever, I'll let you know, because I know a bit more about you than the drone laws. Yeah. Basically, I can fly over there with this sub 250 drone. I can fly over the private property, and that's because they do not control the airspace or own the airspace. The Civil Aviation Authority controls and owns the airspace, and there are no. I checked before I launched. There are no controls in place over this airspace here.
The auditor makes a strong point. If officers want to cut down on unnecessary callouts, they should simply clarify that public filming and drone use aren't police matters. Instead, many officers get caught in lengthy debates, unintentionally validating the business's mistaken worries. By skipping a quick, clear explanation, they encourage more calls about activities that are entirely legal. A brief, calm clarification could prevent all this and let the police focus on actual crimes.